Hi everyone, Maria Rothenberger here with your Fertility Friday vlog. This is specifically the Compassion series, week 2 in the Compassion series that I'll be doing for all of 2020. And as a reminder, this is the book that I'll be using to practice compassion, a year of living with more compassion, which is a bunch of quotes and practices for weekly improving on your compassion. So I hope week 1 went well for you. Here is week 2. The second quote is by Carl Rogers, who is my personal counseling theory guru. He says, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." And I love so much about this because I know, and I spread it out there to others, that when you quiet the noise around self-judgment, then you open up some space to actually create some change within yourself. And then honestly, when you create that change within yourself, it just spreads to other people. So, but we'll keep it about self-compassion today. And the quote that they highlight in this week's riff says, "Self-criticism is not a useful motivator of change. Research shows that self-critics are much more likely to be anxious and depressed, which are mind states that can interfere with taking the steps needed for change." I call this "stop kicking the puppy" because, and if you haven't heard this phrase before, go back way back to the Miracles Happen Fertility podcast episode 3, where it's called "Stop Kicking the Puppy," where I talk about, hey, you're already in this downtrodden place. You're already feeling kind of bad about your behavior. My personal behavior was waking up cranky because I didn't have an easy start to my morning, several mornings this last week, and I was really judgy. But you're already down and feeling kind of crummy. Why kick yourself, right? Why? And there's a whole story behind the kicking the puppy thing, so I suggest checking out that podcast. So here are the practices for this week. There are 5 steps, okay? They're really simple though. So 1, think about a personal trait that you do not like about yourself, or a character or a behavior that you do not like about yourself. As I said, for me, the behavior was being super cranky because I didn't get to meditate and I didn't get to ease into my morning. Crappy things happened and I was cranky. 2, get in touch with the feelings that arise when you judge yourself. For me, I felt about this big. You know, that's a terrible feeling. Not only am I feeling crabby, I'm also judging myself, saying, you're such a bad person. You should be like meditating and calm and blah, 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 right? Number 3, put your hand over your heart and repeat the phrase, "May I be kind to myself. May I accept myself as I am." The 4th step, and this one's really important, ask yourself, what would a really caring friend or loved one say to you about your self-criticism or your, bad behavior? What would a good friend say to me about being crabby in the morning? What would a good friend say, or a loved one? It's a really important step because it helps us remove ourselves from the situation and be a little bit more objective. And then the last step is, again, to put your hand on your heart and repeat the phrase, "May I be kind to myself, and may I accept myself as I am." So that is week 2 of the Compassion series. I hope you run with this exercise and use it daily for the next week. If you want more good content like this too, you can head out to drmariarothenberger.com, and I have a blog and obviously a vlog and a podcast that you can listen to. And I have actually an upcoming book, transcendinginfertilitybook.com, that you can get more information there on, which is a whole program around what we're talking about for this whole year. I thank you very much for attending today, and I shall see you next week. Thanks.